So that's where you were hiding, mi amor. Or should I say, mi amor? Don't get things mixed up. I don't mix business and pleasure. But with you, I'm not sure how to separate them. Caught snooping in the wrong place. I can't even condemn you for this, knowing that you're part of this mafia. Well, now you don't have a choice. Listen, I may not be at the very top, but you haven't paid your dues. You've got a big debt to pay. Mi amor. Now we have to figure out how you pay it back. I'm not gonna lie to you. Wondering my name, huh? You sure have quite the spunk to you, don't you? Well, the name's Sero. But you knew that already, mi amor. You wouldn't be in this city if you didn't know who ran it. At least part of who runs it. So, call me Sero. Not asshole. Not anything like that. Or you could always call me Poppy. Mi amor. You're way too easy to tease. But it adds to your allure and makes me want to have more fun with you. Well, it doesn't break from the point. Right now, I'm like a god to you. I could snap my fingers, just like that, and have your head on a silver plate. But that's not what I'm trying to do. Why would I want that? Instead, I want you to be useful to me. But more than that, I want you to enjoy some time with me. Surely it's not too much to ask for $50,000 for just a cup of coffee, right? It's just the start, the tip of the iceberg on your debt, but still, it's better than nothing, isn't it? For a cup of coffee. Mi amor. You should consider yourself lucky. Lucky you're dealing with me and not my boss. You wouldn't be so lucky around. Not even a bit of hesitation, huh? I like the way you are, cariño. It's precisely what I said. I don't mix business and pleasure. But, so far, my dear, you've been quite the pleasure to work with. Now, you're going to be serving as my right hand, so to speak. Any opposition to this, and I'll have to take things personally. Trust me, you don't want to make Mirko upset. The big boss, she's got a short temper, and a tendency to break people in half. But play your cards right and you'll never have to meet her in that kind of light. Mi cariño. You need me just as much as I need you. Surprised? I don't hold all the cards in the world. That's just not how it works here, honey. No. Not to call you honey. You've definitely got some spunk in you. I like it. Now, would you like sugar and cream in your coffee? Mi amor. I like your taste, too. And your smell. Are you surprised? I bet you expected those cliches. The ones where we chop off your fingers or torture you, right? For money. No. You see, Lady Mirko, she's always been the type to run things fairly but harsh. That's why, while I can offer you some amenities, you're gonna have to earn the vast majority of them. And that's through hard work. It may seem easy right now, cariño, but it won't be for long. We are a mafia, and we keep the order of the city where the detectives can't even handle it. I know that things aren't always what they seem, but listen, I'm trying to do something good from within this industry. from within this place. And what I'm trying to do good for you is pretty simple. I like you, mi amor. Maybe I like the way you look, the way you talk, the way you have that spicy attitude. You're not afraid to say what you think about me, and I deeply appreciate that. However, speaking of that, you need to be careful. You can talk to me and say anything you want, but the moment we leave here, you have to be extremely careful. Mostly on account that the people in this mafia are not all kind. There's a few that you can trust, but it'll take a while for the others to warm up to you. Just a fair warning. Don't go out of your way to try and get in theirs, or they might kill you. What's more, I can only protect you so long as you're making things happen. If you lose your place in the mafia or you break any of our rules, then I'm afraid nothing can save you, mi amor. You shouldn't worry so much. Trust me, they're easy to follow. We stand with our brothers and sisters in arms. We stand for the mafia. We do not betray. And we look out for those in need. I bet you didn't expect that one. That's the one that gets the most people in trouble. Believe it or not, I've seen more people get a pair of cement shoes and visit the bottom of the river because they couldn't look out for lesser folks. Those who have terrible situations. I can see that's not going to be a problem for you. It's something about the way your eyes glisten. Even if you say harsh things to me. Hell, you called me an asshole earlier. But I can see through you, mi amor. I can see that there's a good person in there. And that you can be something. Something great. Dead aside. It is quite a hefty one. 50 million. I haven't met someone with that much debt. Well, ever. So mind telling me your story? It makes sense that greed put you here. Not your own, but someone else. Shoving those responsibilities on you is just wrong. It disgusts me that so many people would allow that, especially to their own kin, their own friends, their own people they trust. That's something you'll not have to deal with here. Trust me, cariño. Oh, am I too familiar with you? Too loving for someone who met you oh so little time ago? Well, don't forget, we've met once before, but that's not why I do it. There's a policy within this mafia. You love each other like it's your last, because if not, you may never know the love you always wanted. The worst thing you can do is live or die with regret. What I want is to make you happy, to make you feel special. And of course, for you to do your job. That doesn't exactly have to do with me, though. My personal feelings in the business, anyways. I told you I don't generally mix business and pleasure, but you're seriously tempting me. I can see that for sure, because it's you. You always have a way with words, don't you? The way you make me feel so very small when you call me names and tell me I'm not going to get away with it. But I'm doing this because I want you to get used to your new life. I don't want it to break you, or worse, to get you killed. Dying is severely overrated. As someone who's lost a lot of comrades, a lot of friends, lovers, you name it. My family, my friends, they've all been taken from me at some point to some extent. And I can't save everyone. After all, not only my quirk isn't quite suited to it, but also I'm just not the best when it comes to loss, when it comes to what to do when someone's missing. Ay, Dios mío. But let's not get too into that. It always sours the mood and makes me feel like I'm powerless. Ah, mi amor. Do you have any idea what it feels like to be that? No, of course you do. It was stupid of me to word it that way. Sometimes I forget. Well, you might not have to deal with life and death quite so much as me. You've clearly lost a lot. You've been put into this situation. A situation you never wanted to be in. And now you're stuck in it right now. I'm sorry. If it's any consolation, I'll try and make it as easy as possible. I'll give what I can to you. But by and far, you can consider this place your home from now on. My home will be yours as well. No, of course not. I would never do anything like that. I'm not some kind of weirdo or creeper. I mean, all I want from you is to be happy. You're the one who's looking at me more like what you described. So troublesome, aren't you? I'd be a liar if I said I didn't like how unique you were. You really are. And it warms my heart to know that you're... What are you saying? So that's it. You think I did that? No. I didn't do anything to hurt you. You'll have to take my word for it, of course. Because otherwise, you're certainly not going to be able to believe this. You see, there's an opposite mafia that owns the other side of town. They're the other half of things. The Chisaki group. And while I'm not going to say they're just heartless morons or something, they're smart, they're ruthless, and they're very loyal. I can tell you that from experience. I've had to do interrogations with those fellows. They never crack. And I'm not the type that likes to go too far with things. It blemishes my honor, if that makes sense. There's only so much a man can do. I've already made a deal. I will never compromise on who I am. Not for my mafia, not for anything. And that's why I'm here. Mirko respects that. Lady Mirko is unique among the mafias. She is very fair, like I said before, but she respects strength, no matter what form it takes. So with that in mind, don't be afraid to show it. Doesn't matter what kind of strength you show, just don't back down. I like the fact that you've been challenging me. You've constantly called names and didn't even accept the 50,000. You can still have it, though. Consider it a gift and an apology that you're even in this situation to begin with. And more than that, I know you have your pride. You actually remind me just a bit of Mirko in that way. Not a lot of people have the fortitude of heart that you and people like us have. That's why you'll fit in right away. I'm sure of it. But that doesn't break from the fact you're going to be tossed into a dangerous world you never saw when you were on the outside looking in. I know at times it's gonna seem cruel. At times it won't seem fair. But I'm here to make those times a little more bearable. And hopefully make the good times that much better. At least that's the hope. It's a difficult job what we do. Taking care of the obligations of a city, taking care of our own, and making sure that people don't just end up dying. Believe it or not, I don't want to say goodbye to someone with eyes like yours.
mi amor.
Do you wonder why I say that? Well, it just feels natural. I don't know if we've met in a past life or if there's something more to it. I can only say that you have an element about you that makes me want to care. And so I will. I don't fight against my nature. In fact, I think that's what makes me much stronger. I do exactly what I want to, when I want to.
No quiero verte perder ese hermoso sonrisa.
I don't want to see you lose that beautiful smile of yours. It brings joy and good things to people you probably have never met yet, and even those who maybe you've lost before. A smile like that, and eyes like you have, aren't something that are very commonplace, even outside of the Mafia, let alone from within. You'll brighten this place, and you've already brightened my day.
Mi amor, mantén la cabeza en alto. Te prometo que todo estará bien.
Keep your head up, and I promise everything will be okay. Well, provided you do your part of things, which means being a part of this family.
La familia es primero.
Trust me, it's not something too serious, provided you don't plan on stabbing someone who trusts you in the back. If you did, you wouldn't have eyes like that. You can fake a lot of things in life,
Cariño.
but you can't fake being what you are. Those eyes, the truth that you beset, you practically can't tell a lie without it showing on your face. You still got a lot to learn about the underworld and how things function here. I know it's not that simple, and trust me, I'll do everything I can to make it easier, but God. Dios mío. You make it so difficult for me. Mostly on accounts that you're so attractive, it makes business and pleasure blend into one messed up, jumbled up mess. And then my heart gets involved and I don't know where to look, what to do, or where to begin with you. Well, as long as you'll be patient with me, that shouldn't be too much of a problem now, should it?
Mi pequeña monada.
Every time you make it seem like I'm trying to hit on you. Well, maybe I am just a bit. Well, maybe that's part of the reason why I called you my little cutie. I'm not gonna tell you how to feel, but I am going to say this. It seems like you're cut out for it. Being a part of my family. Maybe I could coax you into staying because you want to, not because you have to. That's the idea. If you can stay because you want to, it's so much more fun for everyone involved. Playing watchdog and making you pay off debts, that's no fun at all. But enjoying my time with you here, doing things because we both believe in it, now that's something I'm interested in. Mostly on accounts of who you are, and particularly on accounts that you're just my type. I know I've said on multiple occasions I don't work and play at the same time, but maybe I could break the rules for you. Maybe I could tie you up for a bit. I mean, come on. If I took some of your time, it would save you from some of the chores the others would request of you. And besides that, if you happen to be mine, then you might just have a way out of your debt right then and there. Well, not on account that I can pay for it directly, but on account that because I am the one that you're paying, you could pay me in something worth more than money. Love. Love is something worth so much more. I've never in all my life had a chance to love someone. Especially not someone as pure as you. All I want in this life is to not be so alone. You see, my story isn't so different than yours. A long time ago, so long I can barely remember it, I lost my family. It wasn't that I lost them in the sense that you're probably thinking. They're still alive to this day. But it's more to say they abandoned me. I didn't have what they wanted. I was a disgrace to them. Now, I still struggle with what to do, how to face them, even though I'm more successful than any of them by the means that they themselves defined. I can't break this feeling of wondering if I was never good enough. I guess that's what I see love as. Mi amor. Love is someone that makes you feel worth it, even when you don't feel like you're good enough. I want to be there for you. Even if we're just friends. If you decide that, I would never hold it against you. This is by no means something that I would pressure. I just want you to know I may have fallen in love with you. At least as much as someone who just met someone can. Love at first sight, perhaps. What I love about you? That's pretty simple. What I love about you most is your personality, your eyes. The way you let those sweet gasps of air escape when I get real close, or I whisper something in your ear. Te necesito, mi amor. What do you think so far? How unreasonable am I? I'd like to consider myself at least somewhat unreasonable, if only by how my colleagues tend to treat me. They seem like I'm the one who's doing the crazy things, not them, which is just absurd, especially considering I'm the calm of the group. If anyone's doing anything crazy, I'd have to say it's the boss herself. Fair, but also crazy, in more ways than one. How curious you've become.
Mi pequeña muñeca.
Sorry, I just can't help myself at this point. I mean, come on. Would I be half as interesting a man if I didn't state myself as honestly and as openly as I can? I wouldn't be me. And I assume you want to get to know me, if anything. We're going to be working a lot together. If we can at least get along, it'd be better that way, wouldn't it? Now, I only have one more question for you. Will you take this dance, mi amor? Somehow I knew you would. If only because you have that look. The look of someone so willing to try. I'm not sure why you are, but I'm sure as hell glad you are. Dance is filled with love, is filled with passion, as well as turmoil. Not a lot of people realize it, but it encompasses a whole myriad of feelings, happy and sad and passionate. And that's not even getting into interpretive dancing. What we're doing is just a simple step. You step with the music, and then you step with me. Yes, you're getting the hang of it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
mi amor.
You dance like a natural. You may not think much of your dancing talent, but for someone who's a complete beginner, if what you say is true, you're quite a natural. And I love it. Your little style. You'll develop it as you get better. But stick around with me for long enough, and I'm sure you're going to experience every dance imaginable. Each one that will suit you more than the last. You'll have to figure out which ones you like, and which ones you really don't. Naturally, I think there's some of both for everyone. Look at you. Cariño. I love the fact you stare at me. You're not afraid of me. So many people would look at me and tremble, but you have the eyes of someone so brave, so vividly courageous, and yet I can see it. You don't think you're brave at all. Well, I can prove how brave you are. You know how, cariño. It's quite simple. I could prove you here and now. Because I know it takes a lot of bravery to speak the truth in front of someone. Do you have feelings for me? Don't tell me you got wrapped up in all this because you wanted to confess your love for me. That wouldn't be very believable now, would it? But love at first sight might just make sense of the things that don't. But what are the chances both of us would have love at first sight? It's already something rare enough that people don't even believe in it. But still.
Dios mío.
I didn't believe in any of this. That there was someone as gorgeous as you in the world. And even more, that you'd walk into my life just like this. And I'm supposed to treat it as just another encounter. I'm afraid I don't have that kind of respect. That kind of respect for this. No, I respect and honor my boss. But I also have to be honest with myself as a man. I have to be honest that I really do have feelings for you. This dance should prove at least that much. I seriously have never thought of someone like you. I've never understood that anyone was like this in all my life. And still, I have to learn a lot about you.
Mi amor. I want to know more of what makes you tick. More about who you are as a person and more about what makes you stand right here before me and not tremble even a little bit. You're amazing, mi amor. To the point where I just want you to be mine. Why don't you? You look like you're questioning. So I have a chance after all. Then maybe I could offer more. Perhaps a kiss. You can feel free to tell me to go away, or tell me these advances are unwanted, and I would stop right here and now. On my pride as the second in command of this mafia, I would never betray you. No matter what happens, mi amor, I will never betray those expectations. Once you say you're done with me, that's it. I may call you cariño, but that doesn't mean I'm someone who persists. Advances are one thing, confidence is another. But those advances that go beyond a simple no, they're ones that I lose respect for. And if you ever see somebody trying that here, tell me, and I'll put them in their place right then and there. But that's not what we should be focusing on, right? I want another kiss.
Mi amor, tell me, do you? Puedo acariciarte como las nubes abrazan la luna. Mi amor. I just wish to caress you like this forever, like the clouds embrace the moon. Would that be alright, cariño? You understand the languages of love, and you've made me feel loved for the first time, well, in a very long time. The Mafia isn't often a place for love. But with you, I can make an exception. I can break my cardinal rule of not mixing work and play. Cariño, déjame robarte el corazón 1000 veces más. Ah, mi amor, mi vida. Won't you let me steal that heart of yours 1,000 times more? Maybe 1,000,000 times while we're at it. I wouldn't mind stealing your heart for the rest of my life. So, what do you say? Ever wanted to date a bad boy? Well, here's your chance. I might be a man in the Mafia, but for you, I'd wash up most of it. I could never abandon my family here, my duties, but I could at least offer you my heart. Mi amor. You glistens as bright as my favorite star in the sky. You glow with the radiance of someone who's truly beautiful inside and out. And no matter what you think, eres más que suficiente para mí, mi amor. You're more than I could ever ask for, my love. You're more than good enough for me. The question really is, am I good enough for you? Do you want to take a ride on the wild side and understand the world from the dark recesses of high culture at the expense of others? I'm not going to lie. This business can get dark at times, frightful at others, and even more times it can break you, make you wish you weren't here. But I will protect you, mi amor. Te protegeré de todo lo que pueda hacerte daño, lo juro por mi vida. I will protect you from all that would do you harm. I swear on my life, mi amor. I will make you smile. I can offer you that much reprieve. And I'm not doing this out of pity. I'm merely following my heart. Something I've always been somewhat bad at. But I'm taking a chance with you, cariño. Don't let me down, okay? More kisses, please. I do love you so very much. Now, maybe I'll just kiss you all over the place until you give up and be mine forever. You deserve all the kisses in the world, you know. And that's exactly what I'll give to you. Mi amor. Stay by my side forever, won't you?